In our last lesson, we dealt with the Republican government, that is state government. Today, we want to look at how the US government operates. We are going to start with the federal government, which has got legislative arm. The legislature in the US is bicameral, which means it's a two-tier parliament with the Senate and the House of Representatives. They are collectively called the US Congress. It serves the following functions. 1, makes laws. 2, amends the Constitution with the approval of the President, and then control government revenue and expenditure. The US Congress is in charge of foreign relations. That is, it makes treaties with the foreign nations. The US Congress also is in charge of senior civil service appointments. They must approve those appointments, and they confirm ministers. In the US, they are called secretaries, and scrutinize their conduct. The Congress also monitors the conduct of the President, Vice President, and high-ranking government officials. The Congress appoints commissions of inquiry and represent their constituencies. Those are some of the functions of the US Congress. The executive arm of government headed by the President serves the following functions. Their head is the President, who is the head of Federal Republic. Then the President appoints his cabinet and senior government officials, who must be confirmed by Congress. Chairs the cabinet meetings, and the President is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces in the US. He liaises with the Congress to determine and control foreign relations. Those are some of the functions of the US executive, plus executing laws and policies passed by Congress. The executive, or the President, is the head of the political party that sponsored him to power. Like now, Donald Trump is the head of the Republican Party. The President is the head of state and appoints Supreme Court judges. The President can grant clemency to those convicted of breaking federal laws. How the powers of the US President are checked. You must be aware that one of the most powerful individuals on earth is the US President. With such immense powers in a presidential system, his powers must be checked, or else he will become a dictator. As such, the following parameters have been put in place to check his powers. 1, his appointments must be approved by the Congress, especially the Senate. Number 2, he can be impeached by Congress. The President cannot appropriate federal funds without authority of Parliament. The President cannot dissolve Congress. The President cannot ratify foreign treaties without approval of Congress. The President serves a maximum of 4-year term in office. The President is closely monitored by the media. The President must heed public opinion or opinion polls. The President, economic aid and any form of aid to foreign nations he is trying to help must be approved by Congress, which means his powers are immense but are checked thoroughly by various mechanisms. The following is a list of some of the US presidents. Notable ones are here. People like John F. Kennedy, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, you have them here. And now you have Donald Trump on ongoing presidency. Then, the US judicature, the judiciary. The federal judicature comprises of a hierarchy of courts, namely Supreme Court, Circuit Courts, Court of Appeal, and the District Courts. The judges are appointed by the US President. Functions of the US judiciary: interpreting the Constitution, handling cases arising under the national Constitution, arbitrating in cases between the US and other foreign states, adjudicating disputes between the President and the Congress. The US judiciary also settles disputes between federal and state governments. Republican or state governments features. Those are state governments. Each state functions as a republican or an autonomous state. All the states are legally equal. Each state has its own written constitution for internal affairs. It has one state legislature, which is bicameral in nature. Then, the state executive, the states are headed by governors, and the judiciary. Each state comprises of courts of several grades, and their jurisdiction is restricted to individual states. Their judges are elected by the people. Merits of federal government. Is it good to have a federal government like that of the USA? Yes. One, people work in solidarity as a political unit. It promotes interaction between different states. States can solve common problems jointly. Interests of the minor or smaller states are protected. It enhances trade through removal of barriers. It provides an enlarged market for goods. Federal government is very useful because people come together, yet they retain their identities. Federal government acts as a system of checks and balances, since the government operates on division of labor or power. And then lastly, members can benefit from federal pool of resources. Merits or demerits of federal government, like in the US, there is a threat of secession by some states due to disparities in their level of wealth. That marks the end of the US. The foregoing argument was about federal government where executive is headed by the presidential system. In this one of Britain, we now have a different system of government, parliamentary system, model on the Westminster model. In Britain, electoral process is such that elections affect members of the House of Commons and also members of the House of Lords. No, the House of Lords are not elected. Only the House of Commons members are elected. There are two types of elections in Britain: general elections and by-elections. Elections are organized by the Electoral Commission. Then, the process starts with voter registration done at constituencies. There are about 650 constituencies in Britain. It is followed by a nomination process of parliamentary candidates who meet required minimum qualifications. Such candidates of local authorities are also nominated, and then the political parties play a key role in the elections, and thus candidates are sponsored by political parties. A month prior to the polling day, the PAM announces the date of elections. It is a secret weapon. Within this short period, candidates conduct their election campaigns, both at local and national levels. Expenses are controlled by the statutory limits. That means candidates are not permitted to pass a limit of amount of money. 17 working days after the dissolution of Parliament, voting takes place through secret ballot. Once voting is over, sealed ballot boxes are taken to a central place or a town hall where they are counted. Once counting is done by the returning officer, he or she announces the results. And the party that wins majority seats in the House of Commons is declared election winner. In the US, the party that wins many electoral college votes is declared a winner. Here, a party with many members of parliament in the House of Commons is declared the winner. That leader of the party becomes the Prime Minister of Britain. Main political parties in Britain are Conservative Party, Labour Party, Liberal Party, and Social Democrats. Those are the parties in the UK, and they have general elections and by-elections. We also have a case where the following people are disqualified from voting in the US, in Britain. One, clergymen of the English Church and others, members of the House of Lords cannot vote, foreigners or aliens cannot vote, those who hold certain offices like civil servants, members of armed forces and judges cannot vote, mentally retarded, certified mentally unsound persons are not allowed to vote, bankrupt persons not allowed to vote, and persons convicted of election offences cannot vote. Now, in our next lesson, we will look at characteristics of electoral processes in Britain. At this level, it is important to note that the following individuals are not allowed to vote. And I was forgetting, in this clergyman list, Catholic priests are also included. They're not allowed to vote. Thank you so much and God bless you.